All right, this will be a short set of demos that show the features and functions of the Architect Universal Content Modeling System. We believe that this is a system that goes well beyond what headless content management systems can do, and this is why we're specifically and on purpose calling it a content modeling system. To dive right in, this system is SSO enabled with Google SSO right now. I'm going to log in with an admin to show you some more functions. It has a complete role-based access control system. Let's log in. So the very first thing that you see is this left nav in here where you can see things like the initial dashboard. It has an analytics section in here where you can design out your own analytics of what you want to see in the system. It has a model, entries, and context section. We're going to go down from the top to bottom. Today I'm going to show you models, entries, and contexts. Let's dive right in. It also has the concept of organizations and it has the concept of environments. For our demo, let's create a new environment. You see this one right now has dev, test, and prod. Let's go down to environments and let's just create a demo environment real quick like this. Environments can be of different types. I'll go more into this later. This is for developers and making sure that things flow up correctly and down correctly. You can see we can clone, copy, and delete environments. And you can also put environments into the promotion chain. Right now, any promotions from demo, like models, functions, flow up. And generally speaking, entries come down. So you can see that actually code promotes, content syncs down. So let's switch to this environment. You can see now we're in the demo environment. When I go to the dashboard, there's nothing. Let's go straight into models, entries, and contexts. It has the standard functionality you would expect. You can create a new model. Let's create a person model. You could, with keyboard shortcuts, you could say first name, last name, and there you go. For fields, it has all the usual fields: text, rich text, number, Boolean, date, email, selects, files, images, keys, I'll talk about in a minute, and then model fields. So coming back in here, you see now we have a person model. I could come in here really quickly, create now a couple of entries, and you see I could create my first entry, Fred Flintstone. It has an autosave function like Google Sheets, so you don't have to save anything. If you ever do want to save, you could create a version. You see it goes to version 2. And now you can show the diff between version 2 and version 1. And then you have this idea of publishing something. When we go back right now, you see this is in draft mode. It's in version 2. And here's Fred Flintstone. Let's make another model really quickly. We'll say this is the product model. Come in here. We'll say a model has a name like a person. A model has a description. It has some smart auto suggest where it feels like this is rich text. Let's say we have another field. We'll call it price. It knows that this is a number. Again, auto suggests things for you. Let's keep it like this for now. And again, I could come to my entries. Over here, I have the idea of I can search and have this little search field. If I hit this, then we get a filter by model types. I can now go down to product. I can create an entry. I could say this is a sweater, so nice and warm. You can have, you could come in here and bold this, do whatever you want since it's a rich text field. And now let's say a sweater costs, I don't know, $30. Okay, we now have this sweater and we have a person, right? You can, like any other modeling system, you can do relations between models. you could come to your model, you could say a person likes a product. So you can come in here, you can add a field, you can say likes, and we come down to a model relation. Very similar to some other systems you guys have seen. A person likes a product or a person. He can like both if he wants. So you can say a person can like people and he can like products, but for now I'll just show you the product relation. And you can say, well, he likes multiple products, right? So you can create this. Let's come back and we'll add a second product. Let's say we have a sweater. Let's say we want to add, I don't know, tennis shoes, so cool and stylish. And the price of tennis shoes is $49.99. Come back here. All right, so we have two products. I can come back to the person, and because I've added the relationship, he now has a likes relationship. I can link existing, which allows me to pick the tennis shoe and the sweater. We have search in here, fully enabled. So there you go. Or you can actually create new entries. This system has the concept of exclusive and shared entries. I'll go more into this later. Now, we have this, we have our entries. You might be asking yourself, well, what if we want to localize sweater or tennis shoes into different languages? And this is where this system is different. In most content management systems, the idea of localization is hard-coded into the system. Architect uses a models all the way down and eat your own dog food philosophy. So you model it. You decide how you want the relationships, the idioms, and the constructs in your world to be. So what you can do is you can come back to models, and if you have the need to have contextual values by language, you simply create a language model. Again, you say language. Let's say I'm going to add a field, and let's say this is a little bit technical, but most languages have the idea of an ISO code. I can come down in here and make this a key. And now I could add another field. I could say a language has a name, and let's say a language has a description. And again, you can see it auto-suggested. We can come in here to entries, and now I have languages, right? Now I could say a person speaks a language. I could say a product has a language, right? Like a description. I could model it this way, but the other thing that this system can do, and let me do this really quickly, is let me create a couple of languages. So let's say I use German as a language. I speak German, so, you know, my favorite language. You don't have to put this, of course. Let's create French, right? There we go. French, the most beautiful language. There we go. Now we have French and German. And we can say a person speaks a language, but we can use this as a context now, and this is the third thing I wanted to show you, is the idea of a context provider. Again, think models all the way down, eat your own dog food. We're going to create a context provider, and the first thing in this little wizard that it shows you is, well, what is the subject of your context? The subject here is language. When I go next, it says, what is the dimension? Think of it like, how do you want to split up these this model? I'm going to split by ISO code. And when I click next, you can see I have French and German. As I create more entries, more choices happen for this for this context provider. And the abstraction here is localization. It'll give you more information, what the source model is, what the type is. You can learn more about this later, but I'll say create. Now I have a language context. What this allows me to do is it allows me to, at a field level, go back to the product model, and I can say, well, the name gets a localization context assignment. The description also gets a localization context assignment. You can see we have the badges here. And now when we go to entries for a product, you see I didn't have this before, and most content management systems have this hard-coded or baked in, but you have created this now yourself, and you can create more contexts to do this. So really quickly, you can go into sweater. You can, again, in here say this is the German value of sweater. Right now it is inheriting from the default value, which was sweater. And now I could say pullover, and I could say so warm und weich. You notice I can't do anything with price because that field was not assigned the localization context. I can come back and you can see, well, these are the German values, and when I come back to default, these are the default values. Over here in French, well, nothing has been given in French yet. So I think the idea of context, models, and entries should be pretty clear right now. In the next videos, I'll go into more detail and show you more about what our AI agent can do, bulk operations, and we'll just work our way down through this left nav in here.